in the hood with it. Welcome back to the Collective Clips, where you already know we get it in. But before we get it in, let's hit that like and subscribe button. Ding. Put your notification bell on all so that way you're directed in the direction of the dope content that I am kicking. And I highly appreciate all the support, man. We're going up on this channel. It's all because of you. And for that, I can say I'm very humbled and I'm very appreciative. So, are you ready? Super Oos Part 4, and this one is a banger upon banger. It's a banger giving a banger a piggyback ride. Here's some knowledge you can't get in college, right? The show was not over. The show must continue. So I told you about Super Oos, not Leon, not the lion, not fucking Lionheart, right? But I told you about the one that I met when I was up in Washington. This was the homie, right? This was the homie. We were out there trying to sell cologne. We had to leave old girl where we left her, man. It just was what it was. He was a little bit different. But his family, like I told you guys in the first one, his family was bigger than he was. We had this particular uncle that I met. So me and him maintained contact for a while, man. We eventually fell off, lived different lives. He found a chick. He got attached to this chick. He was already attached to the one. He met another one, a white girl, and man, he liked dumping his Oreo in that fucking white milk, right? So he was doing his thing. But up until that point, we maintained friendship. That was the homie, right? So he would always call me and be like, hey, bro, come slide through. We're having a barbecue. Again, I love going to the Samoans barbecues, pig, ham, spam, moco locos, loco mocos, or whatever you call them, all that shit, right? But it seemed like every family member that was there was bigger than the last one. It was just a whole bunch of big for nothing type of people, right? Hey, these dudes were bigger than bigger than bigger. I mean, it was like one of those little things. You open it and it's a real big. You open it, it just gets bigger and bigger. It was a big surprise. So anyways, he had this uncle. His uncle was cool as fuck until he wasn't. Okay, and I'm gonna tell you when he wasn't one day with me, and I wasn't. I've never been the same since. Like Smokey in the birdcage. It was all bad, right? So there in the Samoan people, what's up, Soles? First and foremost, respects. There's what you call FOB, fresh off the boat, can't speak a lick of English. Motherfucker's like, right? He's on his shit. No disrespect, it's just the way he talked. He like grunted. He was like on his caveman, his Geico caveman shit, right? I'll have the roasted duck with the mango salsa, right? And so he had this uncle. Wow, this motherfucker looked like one of the Samoan SWAT team from back in the WWE days. WWF, old school. Long ass fucking gray hair, big old Fu Manchu goatee down to here. Goatee looked like a straight pineapple, was shaped like a pineapple and shit. That vato was crazy, and so we went to his house. We're barbecuing in the backyard. Hey, all these Hawaiians and Samoans are singing, and they sing. It sounds like angels in the backyard. They're singing and shit, and I'm grooving, right? And they're welcome to the island, right? And I'm like, this ain't no fucking island. This is a dirty ass backyard with a gang of pit bulls chained up. The island is so good. I'm like, no, it's not. No, ain't nothing good about this, right? Watch out for the pit bull. He'll chew you up like a piece of wood. So they're singing their song. They just add shit. You know what I mean? Look at the norteño. He's dressed in all the red. If he fucks with Samoa, the Mexican will end up dead. Right? I'm like, oh shit, are they talking about me? Obviously they were. So this uncle sitting, he was like, hey, I'm going to introduce you to my elder, my uncle. He's OG, right? That's how the Usos be saying it. He OG, Oos. He OG, Oos, right? Everything is Oos. Hey, you hungry, Oos? Hey, get Oos a plate. Hey, Oos, get Oos a plate, right? I'm like, yeah, just don't put no Oos in it, right? You know what I mean? Because Oos just don't sound right. I don't know to what degree of mustard that is, but it don't sound like Grey Poupon. So anyways, I'm kicking back, eating a fat-ass plate. Hey, the homie's fucking chick. She's a little skinny white girl. She's right there fucking. She stands out worse than I do. She's like, help me. I'm like, get her, right? Like, we are on the same level. We are doing communication without communicating here. She brings my plate. His sisters are all big as hell, right? They come out. Welcome to the island, right? So we're all kicking back in the backyard. Dog, they're going to eat us on the island, right? And he's like, let me introduce you to the OG Oos. Cool. So I meet the uncle. The uncle's big. Like I said, big for nothing. Just 400 or 500 pounds, just sitting in a chair. The chair is dying. The chair, you can hear the chair breathing. The chair's going grasping for breath, right? Wood chair's creaking like a motherfucker. This motherfucker tries to get up. I go, no, brother, right? You know, that's where I fucked up. That was my first strike. He's an OG. He's not my brother, right? He's my fucking, I'm going to beat the hell out of you and maybe meet your mom and be your father, right? So I go to shake his hand. He doesn't stick his hand out. He's just doing this with his big ass mustache, right? So I'm like, oh shit, right? So the homie's looking at me like, nah, you don't do that, right? So I bow and shit. I don't know what to do. Like, this is a whole different culture. Do I bow? Do I fucking do a fucking like the fucking ballerinas doing, do a curtsy? What do I do here? Do I give him a pat on the back or a fucking right on or a bump? Or do I fucking shake his right side? Like, I don't know. So I just, I do one of these like, hello, right? He's like, right? Basically, he's saying, fuck this Mexican. Why is he here, right? And I'm like, oh, shit. So that was my first time meeting him. He's laughing, and he's with all the tias, with the Uso aunts, and they're all laughing. And there's always like, so there's the youngsters, they're partying, singing, and fucking wrestling in the back, and doing their thing. And then you have the elders that are sitting there just fucking eating fucking pig, like spam and shit falling out of his mouth. And I'm just like, oh man, yeah, this is cool. So the next time I go back, he invites me. They're having a wedding. One of his brother gets married in the backyard next to the pit bulls. I shit you not. There's a fucking guy there with like this big cane and a whole bunch of beads on. He looks like one of the fucking bloodline from WWF. And Roman Reigns, right? And I swear to God, bro, they got married in the backyard. The pit bulls were right there. Do you take Kealani Alilili to be your wife, right? Right? Do you take Samoa Samuk Mook 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 to be your husband? Right? So I'm like, oh shit. Party is lit. Big old party. And again, the fucking OG uncle. And when I say FOB, I mean fresh off the boat. This Vault's right there. He's maintaining dominance though. That's one thing in the Uso culture. They respect their elders. They respect their family, their OGs. There's no fucking doubt about it, man. Kind of like the Mexicans, but we always have that deal in the back all high and shit. Hey, mijo, make me a plate. In fact, I'm not hungry. My stomach hurts from all the heroin. Right? So we have different type of things going on, but kind of the same. We respect the OGs of the family, but our family could get a little different. The tios, I don't know about your tio. Last night he was with another bitch. I know for sure how, because it smelled when it came in the house. It smelled like the Monterey Jazz Festival. It smelled like straight the Monterey Bay Aquarium. So it's just a little different. So anyways, I'm back there. And now I didn't know that the uncle didn't care for me. He didn't trust me is what it was. We ended up becoming real cool. But this particular day, we were uncool. And I felt how uncool we were. Do you see that? It's a bump on my head. I'll never forget how uncool we were that day, right? So anyways, we're chilling and I'm in the backyard and like I said, it's the wedding. Everything's going good. And I took a chick with me, right? I took a chick and she's fucking tripping because every one of the homies' brothers is trying to get at her. What's up, Usa? What's up, Us? And they're trying to pop at her. And she's thick. She was a thick-ass Mexican chick. And she was like, and I'm feeding her food like, hey, it's cool, man. These are my peoples. And she was like, I ain't never had a wedding in the backyard, like with fucking dogs and cockroaches and shit. I said, yeah, but they're different. Hey, when we got, hey, look at this is how crazy it was. So the minister or whatever he was, right, was in the back. They had like all these flowers. It was nice. They hooked it up, all right. Like I said, the pimples were there, but it was nice. And they literally, to walk through, like, you know how you walk the aisle with the father? They had to open the gate and shit. Open the gate, fucking hit the bride in the back of her veil. So they walk in, they do their little thing, right? So we're partying, everything's good. The chick is like kind of getting nervous, but I tell her it's cool. So she's meeting people, she's talking with the aunts and all the guys' wives and girlfriends, and everything's cool. And she's kind of over there. I'm trying to keep her separated from me because if these Usos want her, they're going to take her. And there ain't nothing I can do about it but just say, hey, damn, she was all right? So as I'm there, the uncle's talking, he's telling a story, and I don't understand it, but I'm laughing and shit. Well, I laughed at the wrong part. I laughed when I should have unlaughed, right? And I didn't know. And my homie was like, hey, Us. Nah, he's telling some serious stories, Us, about back on the island and the family and tradition. And I'm like, oh, my bad, because everybody was laughing. He goes, yeah, you didn't notice everyone stopped? I said, no, I just kept it going, bro. I don't know what the fuck he's saying, right? So he's like, calm down, Us, like, because he can sense your bad energy, right? I was like, bad energy? Motherfucker, I'm at a wedding. I'm trying to have great energy. Shit, I got me a thick Mexican chick. I'm trying to live, right? What's up, Us? Help me, Uso. And they start playing music and everyone's dancing. And the uncle calls his nephew over, right? Which is my homeboy, Big J. That was what his real name, Big J, right? You know what I'm saying? That's what they called him. I don't know why, right? So the motherfucker goes over there and his uncle's saying that I disrespected, I gotta leave, right? And he comes up, he's like, hey, Uso, you might have to go, bro. My uncle's kind of tripping on you. I said, man, why is he always tripping? I said, maybe if I go over and I just talk to him. Now, he understood English, but couldn't speak it. How that works out, to what fucking degree of island he comes from, I don't know, right? But me, like the dumbass, instead of just telling my chick, hey, let's go before you get Usolized, right? Let's go. I want to be cool. Plus, I'm buzzing already. I just sipped a couple beers, right? And I'm getting a little brave, and I'm thinking, man, this is cool, right? Welcome to the island. I made it a day. They did not kill me. There's a brother over there with another man. I think I'll let you finish that, right? So I walk over to the uncle, and my respects, Sole. I call him Sole. That means brother again. Not thinking, right? Drunk and trying to keep one eye on my chick over there with a fucking big old Uso hand in her pants, right? And I'm like, oh, hell no, right? And this fool fucking boom hit me on the head. Now, he did it out of love, I guess, is what they say. And I ain't gonna lie, as I'm like in a daze, I'm almost knocked out, I remember thinking to myself, man, fuck this dude, I'm gonna fire on him. And then it flashes in my mind, welcome to the island, Norteños, they will die. You are here with us, and you're the smallest guy, right? And so I jump up, I'm like, what happened, Oos? Right? My homeboy grabs me, his uncle gets up and slaps the dog shit out of my head again. Poof! But he's not slapping me open hand, he's like thumping me. Poof! Right? I'm like fucking concussed already at this point, right? I'm feeling like Brian Urlacher, like, what happened? Right? Like Tua from the Dolphins, no, right? Help! And the other brother comes, he's a big old dude, he's hella cool with me, man. He had a sick ass donk, like a sick ass car. And he comes up and he's telling his uncle, they're arguing and fucking, he's like, no, he's good, right? And so the uncle sits me down, and his wife or his, I don't know, niece or whoever she was, they're all fucking related, starts translating, right? And she tells me that I disrespected him. The first time I disrespected him, he's going to give me one more chance, right? Everything's good. At this point, I need to go to the hospital. I don't care. I need urgent care in my life, right? So I tell my chick, you want to go? And so she's driving me in my car. I'm like, I ain't fucking with these Usos no more. They ain't cool in my book, right? So the homeboy calls me later on. He's like, hey, my uncle wants to talk to you back at the house. Just you and him whenever you can slide through. It's good, though. It's good, Oos. Like, I talked to him. I told him you're the good homie, man. And he's a lover of people. So it's good. And every friendship I've had with Samoans, Tongans, Islanders, period, right? They've always been a lover of people. Like, they're the nicest people until they're not, you know? And that's the truth. Any Uso will tell you, they give you the shirt off their back and then they tear it off you when you're bad, right? So I go over there, right? This motherfucker is cutting ducks' heads off like, right? Just ripping them off. I'm back there like, oh shit. Is he trying to tell me something? Right? My shit, you know, I like my shit where it's at, right? And so they translate and basically tells me I got to respect his home, respect him, and that he's my elder too. And everything was good, right? So trip out. It's about 2 months later. And my boy, I call him, what's up, Us, right? What you doing, big Uso? He's like, hey, bro, I got to go to the welfare department. I'm going to take my uncle. It was Social Security department. They got to get like his paperwork together because he had to have his passports and all kinds of things. He was fresh out the island, right? He needs all these things. And he was like, my car's fucked up. Now, like I tell you, he had that fucked up Lincoln Continental that all it played was the troop song. All I do is think of you. So he's like, hey, can you give us a ride, Oos? And I was like, yeah, I got you, man. Who is it? And he says, me, my 2 aunts, and my uncle. I said, oh, the one with the big ass hand? He said, how you? I said, man, I'm still trying to survive, man. My shit got a bump, like it's like calloused, bro. It's like permanent. He was like, yeah, I got you, right? Now, I should have been mad, and I knew you guys were saying, damn, you would suck a gun. You should have came back and did all that. Nah, it wasn't like that. These were like family. One thing about Samoans, when you're cool with them, you're cool with them. They become like family to you, right? So I said, I got you. Okay, well, I had him up until a certain point. So we get to the Social Security office. And now, if you know what the Social Security office, you have to wait forever. So they take a ticket. It's like 9,989, right? And we are on number 51. Number 51 reported. So I'm going to be there all day. I'm even thinking about, damn, Oos, let's go get something to eat. I know you're hungry. You motherfuckers are always hungry. Let's leave your aunts and your uncle here. Do you understand how my car was? At that time, I had a Cutlass Supreme. Okay? This is how the Cutlass looked going down the street. They sat in the back. It was like 3-wheel motion. I'm the light one. I'm driving like this. Uso's like, let me drive Uso so we can balance the weight out, right? His aunts and his uncle are in the back. His uncle's in the back. The aunts are smashed like this, and they're big too. I'm like, hey, I can't breathe. They're sucking up all the oxygen. I'm just breathing in carbons. I'm in the motherfucker like, like the chair was trying to breathe, right? I'm rolling all the windows down. It smells like shit in there. Someone done farted and everyone's looking at everyone like, ooh, 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 ooh. I'm like, oh, nah, right? My boy's like, hey, my aunt, she got her stomach. None of these people speak English, right, in the back. So, of course, my homeboy's like, hey, bro, bump, right? God knows. I put the radio on. And what do you think came on? All I do is think of... I said, man, if you don't put it on Key Sweat and stop it, right? So I put it on some Key Sweat. So, boom, we pull up to the Social Security. We're waiting there, like I said. And as we're waiting there, man, it's just taking forever. I'm like, man, I'm hungry, bro. I didn't eat this morning. I'm trying to get up out of here. Plus, I got chicks texting me. It's all, man, what am I doing here, right? And the security guard, the aunt farts, right? I don't want to say it too loud, but the aunt farts. And it stinks up the whole Social Security office. And the security, this black dude, I don't know what he was thinking, right? He came over and he says, hey, if you guys are going to be loud, you got to go outside. And I was thinking, damn, they weren't even talking. But I guess the fart, like, it echoed in there. Something happened, right? So Big Uso, my boy, he's like, hey, he starts arguing with the guy, like, hey, man, get up off my family. Woo. And the guy's like, why are you guys here? You guys didn't have to all come. And he's trying, then I'm getting into it like, hey, man, just relax, bro. They're older, man. Have some respect, right? He's like, they fucking are farting in here. They got to have respect. And I was like, bro, you tell them that, motherfucker, like, on some real shit. My boy's big, too. He's like, what's up? But he ain't as big as his uncle. And his uncle jumped up and goes, ooh, right? Boom! Security guard down. You're out, right? Man, if the cops didn't come and arrest Big Uncle Oos, right? Big Uncle Oos, ooh. Took like 4 pairs of handcuffs to get him down. Hey, they had to go bail him out and everything, and it was just all bad, man. They charged him with assault. This motherfucker wasn't even a legal citizen yet. He's already catching a case, right? That's why I tell you guys, with the Usos, it's always a wild adventure. You just never know what's going to happen, right? I ended up going back like a few days later to check on him, like what happened, right? I left. I told my boy, I got to go, man. I'll come back and pick you guys up. They called his sister. She has a big ass fucking, one of those big excursions. So she came and picked him up. They drove just fine, right? The uncle got locked up. My boy was arguing with the cops. They almost locked him up. So I called him like, hey, bro, are you good? What happened? He said, why you cut out? I said, you know what I'm saying? I can't speak Samoan. No, ooh. I can't. What happened? He was like, my uncle got locked up, whatever. He's like, hey, they're letting him out though. You know what I'm saying? Dude didn't press charges. It was just miscommunication. We're going to have a big old thing. One thing about Samoans, they have a festival or a party for every little thing, every little occasion. True story, right? So we're having to get out of party. I said, damn, you guys had to just getting into town. Fucking, you guys had the wedding. Now you guys are having to get. So bam, I go over there. Man, this fool loved me after that, shaking my hand because I was stepping up for him, even though I cut out. You know what I'm saying? When the cops got there, I had warrants. You know, I was back in the days, I was a knucklehead. But prior to that, I was in the mix. Like, what's up? Ooh. You know what I'm saying? They're looking at me like, if you don't get your little Mexican ass away from me, Norteño, right? But I was in, though. Anyways, man, that was the first adventure with the Super Oos uncle. He was wild. He was crazy. Oh, man, you don't even know what happened with the neighbors. We're going to get into that tomorrow, right? Super Oos Part 5, man. The neighbors, poor neighbors. The white people, they should leave Usos alone. You know, when they're partying all night and drinking into the early hours of the morning, don't call the cops on them. Just leave them alone. We'll get to all that, though. With that being said, man, again, I respect the Samoan culture. I respect the people. I don't do this to make fun of. I do this to tell the truth of what really happened, right? It was a fun time, a time in my life I'll never forget. I had interaction with Toko Samoans, and not a lot of people get to really live that. But one thing about a Samoan, when they're your friend for life. They got your back, man. You know, I got a homeboy that lives not too far that I met up here in Washington, man. And I can tell you guys, so look, here's the deal. Chilling with these chicks I met at a club, right? We go to one of their homeboys' house. And we were supposed to go to a motel. The chicks had rented a motel. We end up at this dude's house. We're kicking it. It's already like 3 a.m. I'm tired, right? Like 2 a.m. I'm old, so I'm tired. They're ready to party all night. And that fool was off that A1 from day one. He was just going, right? So I'm ready to leave. Like, hey, we're going to go back to the motel because they had rented a motel. And he's like tripping. And this just happened a while back. And I ain't even going to lie, right? I'm like, man, this fool, I'm starting to get a little anxious and nervous around this dude. Like, what is he doing? What is he up to? He's just a white dude, but he's just doing too much. So he's like, I got to change. He's already for the 3rd time changing. These chicks are even like, I'm like, let's get up out of here. I got this one chick I'm fucking with. Like, let's go to the hotel. Let's leave them, right? Him and the chick he was fucking with. And finally, I'm just like, I'm gone, right? I don't feel right here, man. This is uncomfortable. This dude's up to no good. So I told the chicks, you roll or you don't. They're like, well, let's wait. out, right? So I leave, right? I leave and I pull up. Now, the Uso lives like 2 houses down. He's up. They don't never sleep, right? This motherfucker's up. I'm like, what's up, bro? He's like, what's up? You good? And I started telling him. That motherfucker said, let's go back, Uso, clear it all out, right? They're with the business. That's all I got to say. With that being said, man, Super Uso Part 5. I got another video coming today. I'm going to be all over the place with it today. I'm back from California, man. I had a great vacation. Not really a vacation. I had to go take care of business. Watch the other channel. You'll get to see why and what happened. I got plenty of shorts. I'm going to be dropping videos. City of San Jose, San Francisco, all that. I had a good time, man. It was all love. California's home. It always will be. Don't matter where you're at. It's where you're from, right? Guys. With that being said, I hope that you move smooth with a purpose. Get everything that you want coming. And remember, at the end of the day, it's all about the strive to struggle, the struggle to strive. Thumbs up or thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown. I'm going to continue to do what I do right here on YouTube and bring you the best entertainment I can. I appreciate all the love, man. Gracias.